What's up, guys? We are in the M4 CS. Let me show you something. When you get a new M car and you want to be able to turn it on with your keys as a remote start, you need to go to the air conditioning menu, climate control, preconditioning, remote engine start, and you need to make sure that start engine for climate control is clocked to the right, so toggled to the right. So I have that on. Let me turn the car off. I'm holding the power button to do that. I'm going to take the key. I'm also going to try and record from outside the car now to get the car started. Let's go. Alright guys, back in action. Car is started up. Still a little cold. I'm going to put it in track mode. That's by hitting M mode and then going over to track mode. You only get track mode, by the way, if you have the M drivers package, the one that gets you the 10 stages of traction control. That is a standard package on the CS, but on the competition that's an option. So if you don't get that package where you can adjust the traction control to 10 different stages, you won't see the track mode on the car. All right, so it's a rainy day in South Florida, guys. Pop this back on when we get out of the garage. All right, guys, so you can see what this is like.
Please search for parking ticket. Please search for parking ticket. Thank you.
Coming out on a different side than we normally come out of. Get a sense for just how stiff the car is there. And as you can tell, it is rainy, guys. Got my Form Energy. I've never tried this before. I got this at a I think it was a Citgo. I've been trying to find all the different state parks in Florida, Southeast Florida, and go to them, you know, check them out. So that's something that we can do with this car, which is just road trips to beautiful landmarks around Florida. Today is a very rare, rainy, depressing day. Almost every day is beautiful here. It's kind of insane. I mean, it's December and it's freaking like 70 degrees. Can't really ask for more. Guys, this is something I don't recommend, which is getting a preview of the recording while you're driving. You can see anything can happen. Car is just stopping for no reason. And I should know better. I know this right lane is gonna be slow with people turning to the right, but I gotta stay on this right lane. We're actually gonna check out a place called Igor's Garage today to see if they can do the bolt-on modifications to the car. I have all the mods ready. Just got to figure out the right shop to work with. It's pretty important when you have a car like this to find the right shop that you trust. I posted on the Facebook groups ahead of time and I got some recommendations, so I'm going to check each of them out and get them on video too, guys. If any of you guys know the Palm Beach area well and there's a good spot, you know, on a day like this to have some fun, let me know. Would definitely love to hear it. These are the conditions that you keep traction on. I don't care what you say. Fresh rain. It's basically a pool of water across the whole road. I do wish that the screen showed you what's going on with your wipers, because the paddles, the carbon fiber paddle shifters, block your view into seeing what settings your wiper blades are on. Guess it's a little thing. Traffic here is so much better than the Atlanta area, although I know Miami sucks, but West Palm Beach, the traffic is not bad at all. It feels so good to just be behind the wheel of this car, guys. I mean, like, look at this thing. What a beautiful freaking car. I should honestly start live streaming, so definitely thinking about that. But guys, let's talk about some motivation as we get on the highway. Let's talk about what keeps me motivated, because, you know, I'm 33 this year, so to give you a kind of background on me and like what I'm up to. Damn, this is kind of dumb. That guy did not look whatsoever. This year I started North Form with my good friend Earth. So that is a personal injury AI startup for marketing. We are expanding past personal injury, but we help people and their businesses get found on AI search like ChatGPT. When you look up who's the best personal injury lawyer in Atlanta, we can make sure that you show up first. So I have that AI startup going for me. I am a director of AI at a company, a privately held company. That's my main job, and I've had over 15, 16 years of experience now in finance, technology, product management, sales, and artificial intelligence. So I started my career in Boston, spent 9 years in Boston. I worked for State Street Global Advisors, which is the investment management division of State Street, one of the largest banks in the world. I was a senior associate there. I started as an intern, and within 3 years I went from an intern to a vice president. So after State Street I left and I joined Bank of New York Mellon, BNY Mellon, as a vice president, and I was on their smart automation team. We were one of the first groups in banking to widely deploy robotic automation, which is like, you know, robots, basically computer programs that were automating what people were doing. We were deploying OCR, which is optical character recognition, RPA, robotic process automation, and the beginning stages of machine learning. So from an intern to a vice president in 3 years in fintech. And then from BNY Mellon, I got recruited to become a consultant for BlackRock. So I was consulting for a year to help BlackRock stand up a process automation center of excellence. And a center of excellence is where, you know, a company can aggregate all of its efforts, standardize how it approaches projects, and have a one-stop shop for anyone in the company to get educated, to submit ideas, and to understand what's going on with digital automation at BlackRock. So after a year of consulting, they hired me full-time as a vice president and solution architect, and that's actually what brought me down to Atlanta. So I was a vice president with BlackRock, and then the pandemic hit. Had a little bit of a quarter-life crisis, ended up buying a 2015 GT3 from a Hyundai dealership with a California lemon title, even though it was in Georgia, because the engine had been replaced. And the old GT3s, the 2015, 2014 GT3s, most of them had engine issues where Porsche was replacing the engine and giving you a 10-year warranty. So the car had a brand new engine, a 10-year warranty, and the dealership was a Hyundai dealership. It had sat there for 200 days. Okay, no one was touching this thing. So I went in there and I bought the car for $96,000, which is insane to think about today, to even like think about that price. That car today is worth like $130,000, $140,000, okay? So immediately put a full exhaust on it from Fab Speed, tune it, and that GT3, 2015 GT3 was the first car that I ever ran a quarter mile in 10 seconds or less, which I think is just absurd. I ran a 10.911, which I thought was perfect at Silver Dollar because, you know, it's a Porsche 911. So 10.911 at 127.27 miles an hour. That means the car was pushing at least 500 wheel horsepower. Absolutely ridiculous for a non-turbo, non-boosted 6-cylinder car. So that was the GT3, and at the time I was still working for BlackRock, and I started, you know, kind of seeing what's going on in Atlanta, like get a sense of like what's the scene like, what's the car scene. And I discovered really quickly, you know, I started with the drag racing, but there was a huge drift scene as well. And a lot of people were going to street takeovers during the pandemic. That was crazy. You know, the streets would be shut down, they'd be doing donuts. You'd see BMWs, muscle cars, even exotic cars, freaking at intersections throughout Atlanta in the middle of the summer of 2020, just doing donuts. Crazy, like fireworks, everything, absolutely absurd. So realized that Atlanta was on some other shit because there was music, fashion, movies, cars, and it was all kind of connected. So I got really involved in that. I even got paid a little bit to do some stunt driving and to organize cars for videos and shoots. I got really involved in the underground scene as well as the exotic car scene, and just really well connected in Atlanta in the car scene, starting from drag racing to drifting to street events to organizing, you know, music videos, movie shoots. Just really well connected and had a really good time. It was like living a dual life though, you know what I mean? Luckily though, I got approached by a startup, an AI startup called Olive, and I joined them as a product lead, and they used AI to help patients lower their bills at the hospital, and also doctors to recommend better, you know, care for the patients. And so with Olive, I was helping their internal systems support the automation, and I was running 2 engineering teams as the product lead. And this is where I really learned a lot about product. And wow, look at this. This is amazing kind of to look at from the outside. I'm gonna see if we can get some footage of as well when we get out there. But product is like one of the best roles you could be in because it combines a technical aptitude with being client facing. So you're going to sit with the people who are going to be using your product, whether that's internal users like employees of your company who are using an internal system, or external customers who are buying a product or service from your company. So product, you're that bridge between the external user or the internal user and the actual product or service in the engineering team. So I love doing that. I think now today the entrepreneurs of tomorrow are basically product leaders who know how to use AI to be their own engineering teams, right? You don't need human engineers anymore. You could just use AI. And in many cases, that is the next wave for employment, income in the United States and the Western world. It's going to become, how do I be the product owner of my own life? And in doing so, how can I create products and services with AI that give me income streams to free up what I want to do in my life so that I'm not limited by my time? And the AI that's coming about that we have access to right now is really that good, guys. Like, if I could go back to BNY Mellon when we were just doing RPA, it would cost us $10,000 to achieve with RPA in 1 hour what, you know, $10 would cost us with AI today. So it's almost like 1,000 to 1 ratio that we have increased in terms of productivity and ability for, you know, just technology without being able to code for you to be able to deliver. Like, humans who don't know code are 1,000 times more able to deliver today than they were, I would say, just 5 to 10 years ago. And that's only going to rapidly accelerate. So people who don't know anything about software are going to be able to build entire products and services from scratch. And that is the future, okay? And if you want to invest in that future, you should be looking at platforms like Skool, S-K-O-O-L, and WHOP, W-H-O-P. These are digital ecosystems for entrepreneurs of the future to host their products and services. So, you know, a lot of things are going to be changing, but I've seen in my career path, you know, the beginning of all of this and now where we're going. So it's kind of interesting to have that perspective. I do feel, you know, sad for the next generation that they don't have the same opportunity to have the same career path that I had, because those doorways, those pathways don't exist anymore. You know, AI means that there is only a third of what would have been there for available jobs for entry-level people, because they want someone to come in now and do the job of 3 people because they have access to AI. So that means that 2 other jobs that would have existed before for young people don't exist anymore, and 1 person is trying to fight for the job that 3 people would have got before. So it's very tough, and I feel for you guys. So the best thing you can do is to try to learn a little bit of software engineering, product, and to get ahead of everyone else, almost as if you were putting yourself through the paces of being in a job. And it's really difficult to do that, because what happens in a job is you learn because you get put through things you don't know. You get put in front of people that you don't know how to interact with. So you have to learn how to interact with people, and you have to learn how to overcome situations that you're not, you know, familiar with. Life, many entrepreneurs who don't do well in school because they're not good at studying for a test and then just repeating exactly what that test, you know, wants them to write down. The entrepreneurs that I know that aren't good at school are good at just figuring shit out when it doesn't come to being like, you know, read from a book and then repeat the answers. It's more about, here's a situation, here are the people involved. You need to learn what makes those people tick, what's their actual problem, and how are we going to figure out this situation in the end? Do we need to adapt? Do we need to change expectations? Do we need to adjust the deadline? And to have the initiative and the executive ability to do all of that, think through, who is it going to impact? Who do I need to reach out to first? How do I structure how I'm going to go about this task? All of those things, to learn how to do those things, that's more important today than learning from a textbook and just repeating it, you know? So, quite a lot of talking. Let's get some driving in now, some ASMR with the rain. All right, guys, let's go. Gonna keep traction on, but I'm gonna go to my setup here. I'm gonna go around him real quick. Get my engine to Sport Plus, chassis Sport Plus, steering, brake, keep the traction control on, but basically have a sporty feel other than that. Let's see how that is. And then I can increase the shift speed. Now we're on the fastest shift speed. Fully automatic still, traction on. What the newest generation M cars do is convince you that they're much lighter than they actually are, and that they can get on their tiptoes like a ballerina. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde personality thing. When you put all the full sports settings on, it's fully ready like an athlete or a soldier or a ballerina. When you're in comfort settings, it's, you know, really relaxed, like it's wearing you know, a comfortably tailored suit at dinner. You know, it's dressed up. It's got a little bit of precision to it, but it's still laid back. And to go between those 2 modes, that's the beauty, I think, of the car. We're actually on the Pirellis, we're not on the Michelin Pilot Sports. 70 miles an hour, I should say, 70 degrees. Pretty reasonable traction. If I turn traction off right now, this would be a little bit more dangerous, even in a 4-wheel drive car. But as of right now, there's no problems. Look at this, guys. Easy, easy peasy. What a beautiful Grand Touring car. The fact that you could take this in weather like this, drive through it, get to the track, it dries up, then you have a track day and you drive home, like, that's where we are with modern cars, you know what I mean? And to me, this is a pinnacle of modern cars. Like, come on now. worse, guys, you can see, but still no problem. I mean, not experiencing any slip in the car. You'd figure people would, you know, increase the distance between other cars at this point, but they don't. It's crazy. We're going down to Boca here, guys, from West Palm. Took about 25 minutes, I'd say. It's always funny when you're in automatic and the car shifts for you and you forget you're in automatic. Just wonder, like, what just happened? Why did the car shift? We all gotta get over here. Go behind this big truck here. Bear in mind, guys, I'm learning all these roads as I go along. I am excited to see Igor's garage, though. Even the name is pretty good. Oh, thought I was gonna slide that, but psych! We in the CS now, can't be doing that broad daylight. We just saw FHP, Florida Highway Patrol, and their signature colors. Can't be doing all that crazy stuff, guys. So, but if you guys live in this area and you know a spot that's, you know, safe, secluded, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because these cars were meant to slide. I mean, the M4 CS can literally do everything: date night, drifting, drag racing, roll racing, track day. Like, it's literally a car that, if you'd like, you can do anything in terms of go to the circuit, take your girl out to dinner. It's got pretty much everything that you need. See if Igor's garage is in here, guys. So what Boca looks like, huh? Shout out to everyone from Boca, Palm Beach, Jupiter, Riviera, to Cuesta, Stewart, Hobe Sound. Honestly, I could keep going. Saw the boat parade. That was amazing. Never seen anything like that. A lot of boats with lights, holiday lights on them. It was honestly pretty cool. Looks like we're coming up on the location here. There it is. That's pretty sick. There's a place called Auto House next to it. That's cool too. Let's see if we can make this. I think we can. Very cool. Let's go say hi to Igor. See what's going on. Turbo S going back to stock because the owner's taking delivery of a Revuelto. This is Igor's garage. They already have a CS out here. This thing is gonna get tuned. This is Riviera Blue. This guy put the carbon fiber side skirts, the rear winglets on the car, looking sick. Here you can see the difference between the Riviera Blue and the Brooklyn Gray. We're in Boca. Really nice find. Gonna call Igor up, get the car modified here, guys. Could be a nice journey.